After you reincarnate as a tomb, the first thing you do is spend yin energy to make a winged centipede. It's all because after you wake up, you find you're actually in the tomb raiding world. Not only have you turned into the tomb itself, you also get explored back and forth by tomb raiders all the time. You know, yin energy depends entirely on yin creatures killing people, and feng shui treasure sites to produce. Once the treasure site is destroyed, and yin creatures are taken away, you'll never get a chance to turn things around. And to protect your own body, you order the winged centipede to ambush. On the wall, kill everyone that comes. The huge centipede starts moving immediately, its countless legs crawling up the wall, and lies obediently on the wall, its lower jaw with huge fangs, moves towards the direction where sound comes from the top. Click, click! This tomb isn't big. The soil's pretty hard, though. Finally got in. A man pokes his head into the tomb and looks around everywhere. Hey, it's fine here. It's just a tiny place. Come on down. Hearing that, another head pokes in from above the tomb, scans the surroundings before jumping down. He then greets the next person to keep coming in, as more and more people stand on your coffin lid. Even though you know you don't have a breath anymore,
You still feel kind of suffocated.
the winged centipede seems to sense your thoughts and subtly moves its poisonous jaw, making an almost inaudible rustling sound. It's not the right time yet. You whisper in your consciousness. The centipede immediately calms down obediently and blends back into the darkness. Hiss, why do I feel this place is kind of weird? Suddenly, Lao Mu's voice comes from outside the cave. He's the only one who hasn't entered the cave yet. The few men who already came in look around for a while, and two of them jump down from the coffin to make some room for Lao Mu to stand at least. What's so weird about it? The tomb is way too cramped. You almost think it's such close distance. The winged centipede would probably be found, but it's very smart, and flattens its body, looking like a rock attached to the wall. The young guy who jumped down just now even hit its back shell with his knee, but he didn't notice at all. But Lao Mu is still hesitating. The several young men start getting impatient. I'm telling you, Lao Mu, you're the slowest one the whole way. Same thing the previous times, too. We've all joined the Zealing faction. What rules are there to care about? Just get on with it. Exactly, what's there to be scared of? There's not even a formation here. It's obviously an abandoned grave. Zealing really isn't a faction that cares about rules. After much persuasion, Lao Mu finally coughs twice. Fine, you guys move aside a bit. I'm coming down. Right after that, a loud bang comes from the top of the coffin. Bang! Even though you feel your coffin lid is solid, it's almost shaking to pieces. Lao Mu looks short on the bird's eye view, but he's all muscle, probably the toughest one out of everyone. Now everyone is here. It's the best time to attack, go. Kill the last one who came down. The winged centipede's countless segments start crawling. Lao Mu doesn't notice anything wrong at all. He says while fumbling for the flashlight in his bag, Damn, this place is pretty cold, why do I... Thud! Lao Mu suddenly falls down. Lao Mu! Lao Mu! Everyone panics immediately. They only remember to turn on their flashlights then. Several beams of light focus on Lao Mu. There's a bite mark on Lao Mu's neck. Looks like it's from some giant insect. The surrounding area is already turning purple, it's poison. Shit! Lao Mu was poisoned, run! Someone yells loudly, ZZ! Who knew they just turned their heads? They come face to face with the winged centipede. It stands up its upper body and raises the wings behind its back. Even though they don't actually work, it's enough to scare people's legs weak. Get to the cave, retreat up. Hurry up in front, don't block the way. Everyone is scared out of their wits. The ones near the centipede's head are almost scrambling. In their panic, everyone crowds towards the tomb tunnel. But it's no use. None of them remember the lighters on them, homemade bombs and guns. They just want to run. The winged centipede's head blocks the moonlight coming from the tomb tunnel. It holds its head high and makes a happy hissing sound. Its limbs on the wall tighten towards the middle. Its huge poisonous jaw starts pouncing on the people. Woo, spare me. I'll follow the rules and die properly next time. I'll beat the crap out of you. Don't come near me. Help, somebody help. Pleas for mercy, struggles, and screams fill the air. You look at the pop-up reward page for yin energy points in front of you. You are over the moon with joy. Killed one target. Elementary thank you gift. Received 1,000 yin energy points. But within just a few minutes, this kind of message popped up 6 times repeatedly. Your yin energy points immediately jumped to 6,000. Suddenly, another light green notification popped up. Sufficient EXP accumulated. You can spend 2,000 yin energy points to evolve your two-winged centipede into a four-winged centipede. Do you confirm? You glance at the red highlighted four-winged centipede text. A line of notes pops up immediately. Four-winged centipede. Length 10 meters. Mid-low level toxic creature. Decent lethality, vulnerable to fire. Upgraded version of two-winged centipede. Though its body size doesn't grow much, its outer keratin shell is reinforced, and wing structure is improved. It gains a fair amount of weight, and masters the ability to fly. Compared to its previous form, it has much better mobility, of course only if your tomb is big enough. You think about your 3 square meter tomb, and can feel the system mocking you. Right now, the two-winged centipede has taken care of the last grave robber. It even coils around the robbery hole for a while, using its claws and fangs to pile up the surrounding dirt, to block the hole. It crawls onto the lid of your coffin, as obedient as a pet waiting for a reward. How could you say no to that? You choose yes without hesitation, and the next second, the centipede on the aerial view makes happy hissing sounds. Some kind of black substance gathers toward it, and sticks to its body, gradually solidifying into a tangible form. After about 1 or 2 minutes, a centipede twice the size of the previous one, with 2 pairs of flapping wings behind its back. The four-winged centipede appears in the tomb. If the tomb wasn't so cramped, stopping it from stretching out fully, it would look way more imposing. Detected that host owns a creature above elementary level. Set it as Tomb Guardian Beast. Tomb Guardian Beast. It is bound to the tomb. As long as the tomb exists, the Tomb Guardian Beast cannot die. This centipede is your ace in the hole right now. Of course you can't let it die easily. You select yes, and right away, the edges of the four-winged centipede's icon seem to flash a faint glimmer, then immediately sink into its body and disappear completely. The four-winged centipede seems to sense something. It lies on the coffin and makes soft, happy rustling sounds. If you could move right now, you'd really love to stand up and pat its head. After all these operations, you can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Comfort only brings danger. It's not time to slack off yet. 6 people are dead. There will be way more coming after them. Of course I know that hiss. I remember those guys called themselves the Zealing sect. The system doesn't respond anymore. You click your tongue. Those guys mentioned the chief earlier too. As far as you remember, the only chief related to Zealing is Chen Yulu. That's a huge problem. Sensing that you're annoyed, the four-winged centipede shifts its body a little, but the space is too small, so it's obviously moving awkwardly. This place is really too small. You pull up the store page again. You find the upgrade option under the tomb quality category. Upgrade tomb to desolate grave tier. Cost 600 yin energy points. Confirm upgrade. First upgrade gives great benefits. Area quadruples. Tomb walls thickened. Elementary stealth barrier added around main burial chamber. Perfect choice for new players. Fits your current situation perfectly. Or rather, there's no other option for you anyway. There are a few discounted items in the store, including stuff like the 7 Stars Remnant coffin decoration. You actually like it a lot, but they're either not unlocked yet, or too expensive for you to buy. Alright, forget it, focus. Just upgrade honestly first. Yes? Immediately on the aerial view, the tomb area expands suddenly. Even you yourself feel a lot more refreshed. Watching the two-winged centipede move around, you start to think, it needs more stable yin energy points now. It's recommended to plant crops like human face willow for yields. This was your wish when you were alive. Getting paid while lying down? You think I want to lie here right now? You say speechlessly, this system is so dramatic. But it works every single time. You tap the human face willow. The icon of this thing looks no different from a regular willow, except there's a human face on the trunk. Human face willow. 1 human face willow. Produces 10 yin ki points per day. Current planting limit 10. Description: must have item for the early game. Buying it means you're on the right track. Great deal, 350 yin ki points per plant. He has 3,600 yin ki points left right now, so he can max out the quantity. That familiar white light and cold yin wind again. Poured into the ground next to the coffin. A few tender buds popped out of the ground right before his eyes. The four-winged centipede wasn't curious about the newly sprouted buds next to it, but it instinctively chose to stay away from them. Now we just have to wait. Keep an eye on these precious plants. I'm gonna get some rest first. Maybe it's because he got attacked right after waking up. You're super sleepy right now. Though he was really reluctant to leave, the four-winged centipede just silently surrounded the coffin. It's so reliable protecting you like this. You praised it in your head and fell asleep peacefully, waking up and dozing off on repeat. A few months went by just like that. In these past few months, you found that even though he no longer needs to rest on purpose, proper rest keeps his mind clear and helps his soul adapt better to this world. Today's a big day. You open up your status panel. In the dusk snow aerial view, the human face willows are already knee-high. The four-winged centipede, compared to a few months ago, has upgraded several more times and is way more powerful now. There are also a lot of newly bought corpse beetles in the tomb. Each one is as big as a fist. But you don't care about that right now. He looks at the various stats. The yin key points column, after all the gains and losses this period, has reached 3,500. Open the shop again. Easily locate the item you've had your eye on for ages. Spend 2,000 yin key points to redeem and upgrade host panel to regular zombie. You're thrilled. 3 months. It's been 3 whole months. He finally saved up enough yin key points to be able to move properly for real. Yes, the cold wind picks up again. Wisps of yin key flow into your body. You feel cool air all around you, nourishing your whole body like spring rain. After this feeling fades away, he tries wiggling his fingers. Ah, I can finally get up. He hears the sound coming from his throat. It's horrifyingly hoarse, but he's over the moon. The four-winged centipede heard the sound and thoughtfully pushed the stone coffin lid open for him. The moment he sat up, you feel an indescribable sense of comfort. This counts as a real second life now. Step out of the stone coffin. Surrounded by the four-winged centipede and corpse beetles, you get used to your stiff, cold body. While patrolling around the tomb chamber, now you're seeing everything with your own eyes. Stone walls, saplings, giant insects. Way more awesome than just looking at the aerial view. But aside from the excitement, he also realized that even though this place has been expanded several times, it's still way too small. Congratulations, host permission upgraded. New function unlocked. Relocation. Scan and try it now. After months of getting used to it, you're already used to the system suddenly, popping up out of nowhere to scare you. He calmly taps the yes option. Scanning complete. Second grade feng shui treasure site detected. Relocate now. Your movements freeze. Your eyes go wide. Second grade. Huzi treasure site. That's a second grade feng shui treasure site. Look at your current place. It's not even graded. He looks at the yes option. A notification of Kiev 100 yin chi points pops up right below it. The price is just right too, but you're still a bit hesitant. Since it's a feng shui treasure site, those ancient feng shui masters or demons and spirits definitely wouldn't pass it up either. What if we run into someone super powerful over there? Or get targeted by even stronger tomb raiders? Risks always come with rewards. Gambling on it now. Who knows if it'll be a blessing or a curse? The four-winged centipede is still super excited right now. It's the first time it's seen you in person. It sees you suddenly stop moving and confusedly rubs its head against his hand. You feel the touch on your fingertip. You snap back to reality and glance at the arrangements around you. It's not super strong though, but it's definitely capable of defending itself. Instead of worrying about this stuff, you'd better get ready to adapt to changes. Since I get a second chance at life, I gotta make it count and live differently. I was a wage slave my whole last life till I died. Survived out in the real world. The biggest lesson he learned is that the timid starve, while the bold get all the gains. Besides, we finally got something interesting now. He didn't even notice. There's already an expectant grin on his face right now. The second you confirm this option, you feel the tomb floor rumble slightly under your feet. But it stops really quickly. Right after that, another system prompt pops up in front of you. Tomb relocation successful. 500 yin key points deducted. Tomb relocation cooldown, 30 days remaining. You're shocked for a second. That was way too smooth. You open the aerial view again. After the previous upgrade, a small window appears next to the aerial view. It shows an ink wash style map, with your current tomb location marked in red, and a faded gray marker not too far away. That's probably his old tomb site. Congratulations to the host for seizing the green dragon shield terrain. The effect is permanently active. The system suddenly pops up. Several banner-style congratulatory messages. 인기가 speed 81%. Inchi points plus 40,000. This is your gift for successful relocation, and your reward for taking the risk. Congratulations, you've moved up another level. You grin. Forget whether my bet paid off or not. With these buffs and rewards, I'm freaking rich now. In a great mood, you decide to explore areas. Outside your tomb, one of the perks of being able to move around is that you don't have to rely on those maps anymore. As the owner of the tomb, the whole tomb naturally moves at his will. The tomb door opens automatically. He steps across this thick stone slab gate and heads outside. The exit is located in the valley. It's already night when you step out. The moon is bright and stars are sparse. By the light of the moon, you walk around barefoot. If anyone saw you right now, they'd probably die of fright. A tattered, stiff Jiangshi barely has any flesh left on his body. You can almost see the white bones underneath, followed by a giant centipede, and surrounded by loads of fist-sized corpse bugs, running all over the valley, but you don't care at all. He notices colorful mist swirling around, with tall mountains and flowing streams. The scenery is beautiful. Way better than that dump we were in before. It's not even comparable. Looking at his territory right now, he feels totally great. The four-winged centipede is just as happy. It's been stuck inside the tomb this whole time. Doesn't matter how big the tomb is, but just like dogs need walks regularly, the four-winged centipede has wanted to come out and play for ages. This time it got to run around and have as much fun as it wanted, until it sees you turn around to head back. Then it reluctantly follows, but you barely walk a few steps. When you get near the tomb entrance, you suddenly stop walking. Who's there? No response. You stay calm with no expression on your face. Your eyes quickly scan the surroundings and spot a tail that didn't get hidden in time, slipping away through the gaps in the leaves. Snake, you turn around and stare straight at a spot in the bushes. He's a Jiangshi after all. He can sense the vitality of living creatures, though it's not as obvious as it is for humans. But there's no doubt. That creature is right in the bushes. Looks like it's been lying in wait for quite a while. You don't take your eyes off the bushes. He's 100% sure that if he turns his head right now, he'll get attacked by this thing the next second. Judging by its aura, this is a huge one. After a moment of deadlock, the creature in the bushes snaps first and leaps out. It looks super aggressive the second it shows up, or more like it's naturally intimidating. An unusually giant snake. You can't help but instantly think of creatures from mythology. Its green scales glisten, its huge body coiled up, dark, sharp teeth lining its giant mouth. A pair of golden eyes stare at you coldly and viciously. That's the look of a predator staring at its prey. But who's really the prey here? You sneer in your mind. Then he twitches a thought, spat out a few cold words. Four-winged centipede, get rid of it. When it comes to fighting, you are not scared at all right now. The green-scaled giant python opposite looks over 10 meters long, about the same size as the four-winged centipede. But right now, the four-winged centipede's keratinous carapace has been strengthened several times. Its venomous fangs have also been upgraded many times. One bite can snap half a tree trunk in two. By comparison, that giant python that couldn't even shake off the corpse beetles just now only has its size going for it. You stood by and watched the show, and didn't forget to add 2 reminders. Keep the noise down. Don't leave too obvious traces. The four-winged centipede hissed softly for a moment, to show it had understood your order. Its attacks got even fiercer. The 2 giant beasts tangled together and fought. The four-winged centipede clearly had the upper hand. In just a moment, it had already bitten the python's vital spot. It looked like one more hard bite would cut the python clean in two. Between life and death, the giant python suddenly stopped struggling and bowed its head in your direction. You noticed something was off. You said softly, "Wait." The four-winged centipede calmed down immediately. Like it was trying to claim credit, it turned and dropped the giant python right in front of you. Huh. So this thing actually has intelligence. That giant python really did understand human speech. It lowered its body and laid flat on the ground. Only its head hung down in front of you, nodding up and down, probably as a way to beg for mercy. Green-scaled giant python is available to be tamed. Tame it and set it as Tomb Guardian Beast. The words green-scaled giant python were marked red just like the 2-winged centipede was before. You tapped on the prompt immediately. Green-scaled giant python. Length 13 meters. Kills targets by constriction. Huge body with powerful muscles. Lacks other attribute bonuses, but has no obvious weaknesses. Well-balanced attributes. Has few evolution opportunities, but once it evolves, it will go through a qualitative change. Growth potential is judged by the creature's strength after evolution. Don't blame the system for misleading you if you fail evolution, even though those last few lines look super sketchy no matter how you read them. Evolution is difficult and comes with a risk of failure. But you are not the kind of person who gives up on benefits just because of a little risk. Otherwise, where do you think your second-grade feng shui treasure land came from? After taming, you can name your new creature. Please enter its name. You thought for a second, glanced at its all-green body, and said casually, Xiaoqing. The system screen turned into tiny specks of light and entered Xiaoqing's body. Then it lifted its body following the call you just made a moment ago, but only lowered its head, like it was bowing to you. By this time, the sky was starting to get bright. You scanned the surrounding area once. Luckily, the fight was over quickly just now, and they were careful enough along the way, so no obvious traces were left. It's about time to head back. You return to the dark tomb again. You don't feel like going back into the coffin right now. Today it was a green-scaled giant python. What kind of monster will it be next time? If you want to be more prepared for similar situations later, strengthening the four-winged centipede one more time is necessary. This just happens to be the perfect opportunity. Spend 5,000 Yinqi points to evolve the four-winged centipede into a six-winged centipede. Just like the previous evolution process, some things even murkier than darkness appeared from inside the dark tomb. They attached themselves to the four-winged centipede. After wrapping it up layer by layer, the four-winged centipede started to change, an increasingly ferocious figure. Extra wings growing on its back, shiny jet-black outer shell, and a slightly glowing elixir. Everything seemed to come from nothingness, but turned into solid form right in front of your eyes. In just a few seconds, the inner core appeared and sank into the centipede's body. It had completely transformed from the original four-winged centipede into a six-winged centipede. Rustle, rustle. After the evolution was complete, the six-winged centipede let out a cheerful hiss. Then it moved close to you affectionately. Its body circled around you, but it tried its best to keep a distance that wouldn't make you uncomfortable. Careful but very obedient. Eventually, it probably realized that its huge size wasn't really fit for acting cute, so it just carefully used its head to gently rub against your face. The wings on its back flapped gently. It looked super happy. You smiled a little and patted its head. The green-scaled python next to you glanced at the six-winged centipede, then looked over at you. Its eyes opened and closed, over and over again, like it couldn't believe it wasn't dreaming. You glanced at it briefly and gave its head a comforting pat. Do a good job and you'll get rewards too. The green-scaled python froze immediately when it heard that. Then it turned around as if it remembered something and suddenly slithered out towards a corner of the tomb. Green dragon escape pen. Green-scaled giant python. Remote old forests. You watched it leave and slowly came to your senses. You vaguely felt that you had seen related descriptions somewhere before. Wait, this place looks like that tricky bastard Jian Wang's tomb. When you realized that, you felt a surge of joy. If this really is Shan Wang's tomb, I've hit the jackpot. There's a wooden dust pearl in Shan Wang's tomb. That's a treasure the mountain moving sect would go crazy for. Too bad the wooden dust pearl in the shop cost 2 million yin energy points, and I don't even qualify to buy it. Wait a second, hold on. I'm getting way ahead of myself here. Your common sense pulled you back to reality. The most important thing right now is to stay calm. Nothing's confirmed yet. Even if I'm going to dig up my neighbor's grave sooner or later, it's not happening today. My top priority right now is to level up. Without hesitation, you pulled up the shop interface. The maximum number of human face willows you can plant in the tomb is now 30. I need to plant the full amount. You waved your hand. Besides planting enough human face willows for sustainable growth, I also added hundreds of corpse bugs for defense all at once. I also expanded the tomb a bit so that the six-winged centipede can fly around inside the tomb. My original 50,000 yin energy points dropped to just over 20,000 in an instant. But you didn't plan to stop your shopping spree just yet. You scanned through the shop again and flipped to the physique page. There's only one physique you can redeem right now. Do you want to spend 20,000 yin energy points to redeem the junior Hamba physique? 20,000, that's just the price for the junior level. If I want to upgrade it later, it'll cost even more yin energy points. But you made this decision after thinking it through carefully. My biggest asset right now are the tomb guarding beasts, but they can't follow me everywhere all the time. Strengthening myself is necessary. Hamba physique is one of the evolution paths for zombies. It's one of the more expensive physique lines in the shop, but it's perfect for me right now. As the old book says, when Hamba wreaks havoc, The land turns scorching hot. When Hanba is born, it can cause a drought spanning thousands of miles. That's the ancient people's most direct understanding of Hanba. But what you also see now is the greater development potential of this physique, physical strength enhancement, super fast movement, immortal corpse body. Create drought with a wave of your hand. And after further evolution, it's described as a physique that can fight dragons. Wow, by comparison, 20,000 yin energy points is just a tiny investment. As the light from the interface entered your body, you looked down at your hands. Previously, the skin on your hands was barely covering your flesh. You could see bits of bone and muscle. It's way better after the upgrade, and the surrounding muscles are much fuller now. You can feel that there's a new energy inside your body right now. You just can't quite figure it out yet, and it's hard to control. I probably need to keep upgrading to use it to its full potential. Then there's strength and speed. Smash rocks with one punch. Run as fast as the wind. You tested all of these out. You messed around the tomb for a while and got more and more satisfied. About 15 minutes later, you finally got rid of all the boredom that built up during the 2 months of hibernation. You were ready to spend the remaining few thousand yin energy points. Bang, just as you opened the shop interface, the green-scaled python suddenly came back and threw a terracotta figure on the ground. You stared at the weird thing with 4 bugs and 4 eagles and froze. Kill 1. Rattan eagle to get 1,000 yin energy points. Your tomb-guarding beast green-scaled python killed a rattan eagle. Congratulations, player. You have obtained 1,000 yin energy points. You were totally confused. Is this for real? Then you immediately realized, oh right, this really is Shenwang's tomb. And that dumbass green-scaled giant python knows exactly where the rattan hawks are. According to the setting I remember, rattan hawks have to be startled by living breath, or the Rope King has to wake them up on purpose. But you're literally a zombie right now. Where the hell would you get living breath from? Walking right up is like taking candy from a baby. You can't hide your excitement at all. A satisfied smile spreads across your face. Great job, Xiaoqing. That was really awesome, even though it just got this name. Thanks to the system's special effect, the green-scaled giant python doesn't resist the name Xiaoqing at all. It even acts coy, using the tip of its tail to wrap around your calf. You open up Xiaoqing's status page. You do a massive power level up and spend all the remaining 2,000 Yinqi points on it completely. Xiaoqing's level up process is different from the 6-winged centipedes. Instead of dark matter attaching to its body, there are little white specks of light that flow around it like glowing flames. It looks just like it's shedding its skin. Level up complete. Even though Xiaoqing doesn't have facial expressions, you can feel how happy it is. Come on, take us to the rattan hawks now. Xiaoqing is over the moon right now. It wags its tail and darts towards a corner. You just glance at the 6-winged centipede and corpse beetles next to you. They set off immediately in a huge group. After following Xiaoqing for a short while, you finally realize there's actually a shortcut, right? Inside your own tomb that leads straight to the rattan hawk's hibernation spot. These curled up rattan hawks are completely unguarded. They're just a bunch of sad, pathetic creatures anyway. Might as well kill all of them right now. They can even give us some extra Yinqi points. You have a quick thought. The Tomb Guardian army led by the green-scaled giant python swarms forward. Your Tomb Guardian 6-winged centipede has killed a rattan hawk. Congratulations, host, you've obtained 1,000 Yinqi points. Looking at the constant system notifications popping up, you can't help but curl your lips into a smirk. Meanwhile, Shirley Yang is sitting across from Chen Yulu. Shirley Yang stares straight at Chen Yulu. Every word she says is firm and decisive. I will definitely find the mooch and pearl, even if I go blind just like you. Chen Yulu freezes the second he hears that. He stands up, unsteadily swaying back and forth. Do you guys want to see my blind eyes? The 3 of them are totally confused. No one answers for a moment. They look at each other awkwardly. Chen Yulu doesn't wait for them to respond and yanks off his sunglasses. He opens his eyes. There are no eyeballs inside at all. The previously aggressive Shirley Yang is shocked stiff and can't get a single word out. She keeps staring at Chen Yulu. The situation looks way worse than she thought. Satisfied with their reaction, Chen Yulu puts his sunglasses back on and slowly walks back to his seat. Hubai clicks his tongue. He still hasn't given up yet. So can you come with us? You went blind there back then. You must... Chen Yulu doesn't say a word. He turns around and stays completely silent. That's obviously a sign for them to leave. Ubai and the others have no other choice, so they get ready to depart. But just as they open the door, a man bursts in from outside. The Iron Triangle exchange a quick look and stop in their tracks. They stand by the door watching the man walk up to Chen Yulu. He bends down and starts talking. A few of our brothers went missing near the Xian King's tomb. What? Chen Yulu can barely believe his ears. His whole body tenses up immediately. How dare anyone go there right now? The man looks pretty ashamed, but still tries to explain. The guys under me don't know what happened before. They just went to do a small grave robbing gig and got killed for no obvious reason. Chen Yulu is silent for a long moment. Finally, he turns around. He looks really unhappy. Hubai heard a few words from their conversation just now, and he has a rough idea what's going on. So, can you come to the Shen King's tomb with us? Chen Yulu doesn't move an inch. His expression shifts. Hesitation, nostalgia, regret. Back then, so many of his Zealing brothers died or got hurt for him. He can't just sit by and do nothing now. But in the end, he nods his head firmly. Meanwhile, the corridor that was just full of rattan hawks is now nothing but a floor covered in corpses. The stinky liquid oozing from the corpses is so disgusting. You're kind of glad you're a drought demon right now, so you can't smell anything at all. As the last rattan hawk is swarmed to death by a group of corpse beetles, another notification pops up in front of you. Yinki points have successfully exceeded 100,000. System auto-upgraded. Special attribute terrain unlocked. You felt a surge of joy. The terrain feature is also available in the shop. It's basically an upgraded version of gadgets. Stuff like natural toxic mist in Xian King's tomb, ghost species, and so on, all count as terrain. Before you could even open the shop, another pop-up notification showed up. Unlockable terrain detected nearby. Color cloud toxic mist. Spend 2 units of Yinki to absorb it. You blinked. Then you broke into a grin. Exactly what I was just thinking of. He'd been coveting the toxic mist from Xian King's tomb for ages. That single barrier has stopped countless top tomb raiders. Even Chen Yulu fell for it back in the day. Even though over the past few months, aside from the initial tomb raiding crisis, you haven't run into any other tough spots. But he knew perfectly well, this world doesn't give you the chance to sit back and relax. Tomb raiding, for that matter, is just like playing chess. The only difference is what tomb raiders face is an endgame full of hidden ambushes. No matter how many ambushes there are, an endgame is still just an endgame. There's always a way to beat it. If you want to make the endgame deadlier, you need to prepare both obvious and hidden traps. Terrain is obviously a must-have, but you didn't immediately. Take this free gift that fell into your lap. First, you glanced at your pets waiting beside you. Don't worry, the Emperor clan won't harm tomb-guarding beasts. We are born of the same root. Why rush to destroy each other? Then what's there to hesitate about? The moment you made your choice, an aerial view of the tomb popped up at the same time. You saw a strong gust of wind carrying mist appear on the aerial view. It spread out and circled around. In just a few seconds, a thick layer of mist appeared around the tomb. It was obviously the famous toxic mist from Xian King's tomb. That efficiency made you smirk unconsciously. You just got another ace up your sleeve. As the mist appeared, on your stats panel, the terrain line added a new line of description. Color cloud toxic mist. Attribute, poison. Quality, high grade, large, undiscriminating range. With penetrating attack ability, simple but effective. Requires a certain level of poison resistance to counter undefendable enemy. The toughest enemies are wind, air, and mist. Seeing a treasure added to your collection. You were super satisfied. You closed the interface and looked up, only to realize, at some point, the area around you was full of red mist. This red mist is... could it be the undying worm? As if to confirm your guess, a low growl came from the red mist. It was deafeningly loud. The protagonist glanced at the 6-winged centipede next to him. It got the hint right away. It flapped its wings. A huge area of the surrounding red mist dispersed, revealing a huge golden mask, staring right at you. It was a ferocious-looking golden mask. A huge eyeball in the center was spinning nonstop. The lower half of the mask had a mouth only worms have. Its body was covered in bronze dragon-scale heavy armor, covered in verdigris patina. Underneath was blood-red armor sheaths. Red mist was seeping out from the gaps. Plus its claws were as thick as human legs, which gave it that super-fast movement speed earlier. The undying worm was around the same size as the green-scale giant python. It reared up to threaten you. It already saw you as an intruder. You weren't scared at all. You even chuckled softly, spending a ton of resources earlier to upgrade. Myself and the tomb guarding beasts was definitely the right call. It's the undying worm, since you came to me on your own. I won't stand on ceremony. Things were about to blow up here. On the other side, things were way more peaceful. Or to put it another way, so peaceful it was uncomfortable. Hubai and his crew were standing in that small tomb you used to have, shining their flashlights around the whole area. No matter how hard they looked, all they found were damp, dim earthen walls and 6 horribly mangled corpses. Fatty had already circled the whole tomb. He came back to the center and asked, "Are you kidding me? This dump can stop the Zealing people. You know, right now, not even all of their crew are down here yet, and they already filled the entire tomb space. It's nothing but mud everywhere, not even a coffin in sight. Doesn't look like a tomb at all." Even Hubai found this unbelievable. He didn't reply, and looked over at Chen Yulu. The guy who reported to Chen Yulu earlier brought Chen Yulu down from above and led him to several corpses. Chen Yulu squatted down, flipped the corpses' hands over, and sniffed slightly. Seeing these marks, Chen Yulu's face suddenly changed. He had his back to Hubai, and his body froze slightly. What popped into his head was what happened back at Ping Mountain. The only thing that can leave these marks is a centipede, and a huge one at that. Though it's smaller than the 6-winged centipede we met back then, it's still tough enough to deal with. But why the hell would that thing show up in this tiny cave? Is there a nest of these things around here? Hubai and the others noticed Chen Yulu acting weird and gathered around him. They'd already checked the corpses earlier, but they had no clue what happened. Cause of death was being bitten and gnawed on. It looked like there was some kind of toxin left around the wounds. Did you figure out anything? Chen Yulu had a dark look on his face, and his tone was really heavy. You could even call it a warning. This is bad. The thing we're dealing with this time is no joke. Don't cause any extra trouble, no matter what. At the same time, the Huo's immortal worm that was attacking you saw that it had missed its pounce and immediately adjusted its stance, getting ready for a second attack. The green-scaled python and 6-winged centipede moved almost at the same time and rushed right in front of the Huo's immortal worm. The 3 giant monsters started wrestling and tearing at each other. It was an extremely brutal scene. Your 2 giant monsters under your command had already been upgraded several times, so their fighting power was insane. But the Huo's immortal worm's regeneration ability was nothing to scoff at either. They were pretty evenly matched for a while. The Huo's immortal worm got torn apart countless times by the other 2 monsters, but it kept restoring itself over and over with its freaky fast regeneration ability. This war of attrition left the entire surrounding area covered in scales, shredded flesh, slime, and bronze armor pieces. The scene was unbelievably brutal. You originally thought 2-on-1 wouldn't be too much trouble, so you didn't step in to help. But as time went on, you realized you were a bit too overconfident. Come to think of it, you've never tried your Hanba physique's power on a living creature before defeating the Huo's immortal worm. We'll reward you with 5 Wei of yin energy points. You stood up when you saw this sudden notification pop up. The Huo's immortal worm was busy fighting the other 2 monsters to the death. It pounced right at the green-scaled python and swung its tail casually at the same time, which happened to be heading right for you. Bang! Before the immortal worm could bite the green-scaled python, it was hit head-on and stopped dead in its tracks. Its eyes rolled down to look at you under its body. When did this little thing teleport right in front of me? Before the immortal worm could react, a cold glint flashed through your deep, pitch-black eyes. You raised your hand and slammed down another heavy blow. Bang! With a loud crash, thick red mist burst out from the spot you hit. The immortal worm can't feel pain. It just started twisting on instinct, struggling like crazy to attack you, but it was completely useless. You were hitting really hard and keeping up a super fast pace. Since you had upgraded your speed and agility, dodging its attacks was super easy. The immortal worm can regenerate as long as any nerve cells remain, but under such a fierce attack, its regeneration speed just couldn't keep up. In just a moment, the huge Huo's immortal worm was torn completely apart. Roar! It swung its head one last time. It was already too weak to struggle anymore, and collapsed to the ground, turning into a mess of shredded, rotten flesh. You knew even like this, it still wasn't dead. But if it wanted to get back the ability to move, it would take at least a few years. Huo's immortal worm defeated. Congratulations, host. You have obtained 5 Wei of yin energy points. You were super satisfied that your 2 of yin energy points was well spent. The Hamba physique is totally awesome. But the 2 Tomb Guardian beasts next to you weren't nearly as relaxed as you were. The 6-winged centipede lowered its head and crawled over to you looking a little dejected. Even the green-scaled python was also acting super submissive. You stared at the pool of blood the immortal worm left behind for a moment in silence. You were a little confused. Then you saw the 6-winged centipede and green-scaled python finally knelt down on the ground together. Like they were apologizing. Tomb Guardian beasts share a telepathic link with their tomb master. You immediately realized what was going on. Turns out they felt guilty for not protecting their master well and making you step in to fight. You smiled, reached out and patted both of their heads. Don't worry about it. You both did a great job. I just wanted to test out my own strength, that's all. The 2 of them heard that, didn't look up right away. Instead, they both snuck a glance at you in unison. After confirming you didn't look annoyed at all, they finally relaxed and stood up and moved a little closer to you. This place is now completely looted clean. You turn around and are about to leave. Suddenly a box rolled out from the corpse of the Huoshi deathworm. You follow the noise and walk towards that object. This is a box made of bronze. Looks like it was swallowed whole by the Huoshi deathworm. A surge of joy rises in your heart. You smash the box open with one punch. Your gaze sweeps over the small items inside. When it lands on a black toad, a notification suddenly pops up. Special underworld artifact detected. Ancient sapphire toad. Category: enhancement type. Doubles the vitality of all creatures in the holder's tomb. Doubles evolution speed. Made of unique materials. A tiny toad that can improve feng shui. The craftsmanship is absolutely stunning. The 2 pets beside you seem to have sensed the power of this jade toad. They gather around one after another, their faces full of longing. You hold the jade toad in front of the 2 of them, waving it back and forth. They stare at the jade toad without blinking, their bodies unconsciously bobbing up and down along with it. It looks quite like the scene when you used to tease cats on the roadside. Too bad the cats you raised weren't that strong. They all died way too fast. The system pops up at a really bad time, leaving you totally choked up for a second. But you have to admit, having this item really makes things a lot more convenient. You're very satisfied with it. Another message suddenly pops up right in front of you. For picking up a special underworld artifact, you have activated a special quest. Collect the Muckin Pearl. Reward: 20 watts of yin energy. God tier chest X1. You read the message again. You feel a bit surprised and delighted. 20 watts of yin energy and a god tier chest. Either one is extremely tempting. Besides, you were already determined to get the Muckin Pearl. This perfect deal came at just the right time. Now your goal is clear. Warm-up is finished. It's time to go visit the neighbor that you've looted so much stuff from. The 2 top fighters in the Zhan King's tomb, Huoshi Deathworm and Rat and Hawk. You've already met both of them. This Zhan King is not a good guy at all. Taking him down a peg is no bad thing. Besides the Muckin Pearl, this treasure that everyone wants, you are determined to get it. Taking your time, you walk like you're strolling around your own home. Through the gourd cave, the 2 pets behind you line up obediently and follow you forward. But their large size still makes them scrape off. A little wall plaster at the gourd entrance. Right after you leave, Hubai and his group just arrive at the corridor entrance. They're just about to go in when the younger ones are stopped by Blind Chen. Wait, don't be so reckless. Even if you're wearing gas masks, be a little careful. The poison fog inside covers a huge area. Be mentally prepared and remember, stick close to the people in front of you. Never get separated. They had listened to Blind Chen's warnings countless times along the way. Right before entering the door, they are all quite nervous and nod seriously. I'll go in the front. You juniors follow closely behind. With that, Blind Chen doesn't wait for them to argue and steps into the corridor. But before he takes a few steps, he stops in shock. He's sure he isn't misremembering. Misremembering? This is the very place that blinded him after all. But right now, there's not a single wisp of fog in front of him. He has no idea that the one who made the poison fog disappear, left not long ago and has already brought his group of pets through the Qian King's tomb, and is now standing in front of the Lingyun Palace. New location detected, Lingyun Palace. Congratulations, host, you have obtained 1 watt of yin energy. Pavilions and terraces look ethereal and fairy-like. This palace is really magnificently built. It lives up to the name Lingyun Palace. The Xian King really loved his fairy fantasies. His taste in architecture isn't half bad either. If possible, you'd also love to build an underground chamber, like Lingyun Palace in your own tomb. As you think this, you open the system shop and glance at the now unlocked Lingyun Palace. There's a bunch of formal, flowery introductions, with a few big words written prominently below. Redeeming this costs 10 Wa of Yinki points. You let out 2 dry chuckles to yourself. Nah, forget it. I don't have that much Yinki to waste right now. All these flashy, useless gimmicks. I'll think about them later. Who knows when that'll be, though? He exits the store page, glances at Lingyun Palace again. I can't move Lingyun Palace back with me right now, but can I just sell all the stuff inside it? With that thought, he leaps gently and lands right at the entrance of Lingyun Palace. The first thing he sees after walking in is a huge bronze cauldron. It has a bold, domineering design, grand with a subtle, ancient vibe. Sacrificial ritual bronze cauldron with inscriptions detected. Recycling it will reward 1,000 yin chi points. Confirm recycling. He selects yes, then turns to look at the vase next to it. Another pop-up notification appears. Large yellow plum blossom porcelain vase detected. Recycling it will reward 200 yin chi points. Confirm recycling. After walking through the entire palace like this, he sold almost everything in Lingyun Palace. Only an empty shell of the palace is left. You check your status stats and see you've gained 1 Wa of yin chi points. You're totally satisfied. Add that to the reward you got for finding Lingyun Palace earlier. You now have a full 2 Wa total. Who knows how many more good treasures are waiting up ahead. Drink while the wine is good, right? Spend your cash while you've got it. You open the store page without hesitation. You navigate to the creatures tab easily like old times. You buy a few more double-winged centipedes without a second thought. Host detected redeeming double-winged centipedes for non-first time. Bonus triggered. Under the lead of an evolved individual of the same species. These creatures will automatically grow stronger after redemption. No extra Yinki points required for evolution. The good thing about having a leader is that it's way easier to manage them. You don't have to worry about anything. The little ones will grow up slowly on their own. Such great self-management skills they have. Plus the one you got earlier. The buff from the blue jade toad is super handy. The moment you close the page turns into tiny specks just like last time. Fluorescent light appears next to the 6-winged centipede. In the blink of an eye, a few double-winged centipedes half its size suddenly wake up. The 6-winged centipede doesn't look surprised at all. It lets out low hisses like it was already prepared. As a response, the other double-winged centipedes also chirp at the same frequency for a while. Finally, they all bow down in front of you. You nod your head, quite satisfied with the result. Suddenly, Xiaoqing next to you gently taps his finger with its head. You turn around abruptly. You follow Xiaoqing's line of sight. He spots a red exotic witch robe, hanging right on the roof beam. A head hangs down low from it. Long hair drapes over the clothes. It looked like she was moving just now. Kill the skin ghost snake bone. Reward is 1,500 yin chi points. Right at this moment, the skin ghost suddenly lunges at you from the beam. At the same time, rushing out from under her clothes, is a fist-sized black bug. Ha ha ha. A woman's shrill laugh echoes through the air again. It makes your skin crawl. But in the blink of an eye, the 6-winged centipede next to you swats down with one claw, sending that snake bone flying straight into the wall. There's a loud squelching crack. It bursts open instantly. The skin ghost, still midair, panics hard. It flails around trying to back up thud. Her struggle makes the rope around her neck breaks with a sharp snap. She falls straight to the ground, her already gross, heavily made-up face. After taking that hard fall, looks even more messed up and embarrassed. But she doesn't dare to slack off. She immediately folds herself up. Her 2 wide sleeves are prostrate in front of her, like she's kneeling and kowtowing. Skin Ghost is available for taming. Confirm taming and set as Tomb Guardian Skin Ghost. Length, 2 meters. Product of a half-dead person parasitized by goo worms. Skin and head separate from the body. Possesses self-awareness. Low attack power. Not very useful. Can be used as decoration inside the tomb. Awakened by goo worms. Controlled by goo worms. Disgusting and tacky item. Might work really well for scaring people. The system just said everything you were thinking. This thing's stat page is straight up garbage. But you have to admit, when you saw this thing lunging at you just now, even you zoned out for a split second. It looks almost human, but not quite. And it's extremely creepy. That's the famous uncanny valley effect. At the end of the day, people fear ghosts and spirits most. Compared to six-winged centipedes and other creatures that bring a sense of oppression, the scare we just got is way more direct. The human skin ghost is lying on the ground nodding repeatedly. It cranes its neck trying to look at you. It looks like it's trying to thank you. But its face is so damn ugly. You turn your head away, not wanting to look straight at it. Whoever's available, pick it up with your mouth. Get ready to take it back. A newly summoned two-winged centipede steps forward. It obediently picks up the rag-like human skin ghost. Its pale face is clearly full of displeasure, but it doesn't dare make a sound. It's terrified of getting eaten the next second. Just a few steps out of Lingyun Palace is a waterfall. Further down to the Dragon Eye is the Jan King's tomb. Now that you have the Hanba Constitution, you don't have to worry about steep cliffs. You pull off the classic crow takes flight move and jump right off the waterfall with a loud thud. Chen Blind, who just went inside not far away, stops in his tracks. Did you guys hear that? There seems to be some noise inside. They already passed the area that Chen Blind previously said was full of toxic creatures. None of them ran into anything at all. The group that was on edge earlier are starting to have doubts now. Fatty even walks up and slings an arm around Chen Blind's shoulder. Comrade Old Chen, you're scaring people again, see? That's why when it comes to living life, you gotta be open-minded. Secluding yourself from the world is no good. Think about it, if you hadn't come this time, you'd never know it's turned out like this. The toxic fog that blinded you back then has been blown away by decades of strong wind, hasn't it? Chen Blind can't be bothered to listen to his nonsense. He swats his hand away. He stays alert and keeps walking ahead. But he can't help feeling a little hesitant inside. Could it be that with the passage of time, the toxic fog really has dissipated completely? Hubai next to him pats Fatty on the head. Hey, why do you have such a smart mouth? The toxic fog dissipating is a good thing. You want it to come back or what? Old Hu is right. It's a good thing we could make it through here. Less trouble for us. Shirley Yang sees Chen Blind is in a bad mood. She chimes in to agree. Fatty pouts. You two lovebirds are singing the same tune. You're really good with words, huh? Ganging up on me since I'm alone. Can't beat the two of you talking at once. Go away, stop talking nonsense. Teasing me is fine. Don't drag Shirley into this for no reason. Hubai waves his hand immediately. He smacks Fatty on the back of his head again. He acts all nonchalant on the surface, but he can't help feeling lonely inside. He knows very well that Shirley Yang has no interest in him. She's only traveling with him because of the curse. She likes domineering, assertive guys. Fatty doesn't pick up on any of that. He keeps teasing the two of them excitedly. Just then, Chen Blind suddenly stops walking. This is the mountain god temple. Shirley Yang looks at the huge palace in front of her and asks softly, All right, let's get serious now. Fatty also knows it's not the time to mess around anymore. The temple in front of them is covered with vines, but you can still tell it's a palace, and there are no signs of collapse around it. The group naturally climbs up at ease. After checking carefully, they confirm the surrounding air is safe to breathe. They take off their gas masks. Fatty is the most impatient of them all. Oh, that was so suffocating. I've got such a big face, and that mask was way too small. Totally useless. Hubai teases him a little and catches up with Chen Blind. Shirley Yang and him are checking the deities right now. What kind of bodhisattva is this? Why does it have a black face? And there's a yaksha next to it. Hubai looks at the sculpture at the entrance and rubs his chin. Chen Blind doesn't turn around and is already walking deeper into the mountain god temple. Ancient people worshipped all kinds of things. Who cares? Let's go further inside to check. We're on the right track now. This old man was so reluctant to come. Now he seems pretty excited. When they reach the end of the mountain god temple, they see 9 stone-carved toads, following the methods in the 16-character feng shui manual. Hubai fiddles with them for a while. With a series of clicking noises, the group searches around, and on the stone wall behind the toads, they find a quietly opened passageway. They enter the passageway, and don't walk very far, the few people scouting at the very front. The men from Zealing stopped in their tracks. Watch out, there's something up ahead. Fatty didn't buy any superstitious crap at that moment. What is it? Let me have a look. Cut that feudal superstition nonsense. Your pal Fatty will send all that garbage straight back to the bright path of socialist construction. But Blind Chen quickly reached out to stop him, asking what it was. The Zealing man described what he had seen. Blind Chen immediately said, Oh no, that's Tang Ying. Grab the Chicago typewriter fast. These things come alive once they sense living breath. Shoot him to pieces right now! Wailing sobs. It's too late. Cries were already echoing through the tunnel. Everyone instantly broke out in cold sweat, hair standing on end. Several Zealing men immediately surrounded Blind Chen. Meanwhile, Hubai, Fatty, and the rest gripped their gun barrels tight, loaded their guns in a split second, aimed at the surrounding area. Their flashlights swept back and forth everywhere. The surrounding cries didn't stop. It made everyone's stomach twist with anxiety. The sound bounced off the tunnel walls countless times. There was no way to tell where it came from. It was so disorienting it made people lightheaded. For a moment, danger lurked everywhere around them. Blind Chen gave a sharp order. Stop overthinking it. Kill these half-awake freaks first. Move! As soon as he finished speaking, with several Zealing men following him, he bolted straight deeper into the tunnel. His gun kept firing non-stop the whole time. The muzzle flashes lit up almost the entire tunnel. They ran and shot the whole way. The Tengying were way tougher than they had expected. A few of them still woke up even after getting shot several times. One or two of them even managed to tear a hole in Shirley Yang's kodum. When they finally stopped, all of them looked like total wrecks. They had no idea how far they had run. The baby-like cries in the tunnel suddenly stopped, and they had already reached the end of the tunnel by then. Everyone was panting hard. A passage opening was right in front of them. Its edges had caved in for some unknown reason. It looked like something huge had scraped against it. You could tell the passage was originally pretty narrow. Blind Chen was the most experienced of the group after all. He calmed down after a couple of deep gasps. Hubai braced his hands on his knees, panting heavily. Did we lose those things? Blind Chen's face didn't look any better. He lowered his voice and said, No, those things are scared of something. They're actually afraid. Why would that be? Who cares why? They're not coming further this way. That means it's safe up ahead, right? Fatty bounced back pretty quickly. He stood up and brushed off his clothes, then looked over at the gourd-shaped opening next to him. Blind Chen didn't argue with that. What Fatty said made sense. Or rather, if that wasn't the real reason, the actual truth would be way worse. There's something terrifying up ahead that even these Tengying don't dare mess with. After a short rest, everyone got back on their feet and kept moving further inside. Fatty was leading the way. Right now, only someone with his casual, fearless attitude dared to walk at the very front. But he'd barely taken a few steps into the gourd opening when he cursed under his breath. What the fuck? The rest immediately tensed up again. Hurrying over to stand next to him, the sight in front of them shocked everyone speechless. There were countless Tengying corpses up ahead after dealing with those annoying attackers just now. Seeing a scene like this felt more than a little unbelievable. They walked up and looked around carefully. The more they looked, the more confused they got. Curses kept pouring out of everyone's mouths from how gross it was. The Tengying that had been so hard to deal with were now lying like squished mud. Their bodies were covered in bite marks from some creature. Some of them only had broken limbs left, which means there are way more dead Tengying than what's filling this tunnel. This scene was basically a one-sided massacre. Hubai, Shirley Yang, and the others flipped through the corpses back and forth. Their brows furrowed deeper and deeper. Their faces were painted with worry. After getting over the initial shock, Blind Chen started looking around for clues about what did this. It only took him a moment to find a piece of broken insect shell on the ground. He felt it carefully for a while and realized it looked kind of familiar. This is a broken shell from a six-winged centipede. Come over here, all of you, take a look. The still dazed group all gathered around. When the Zealing men saw the thing in Blind Chen's hand, their expressions froze visibly and turned much more serious. Hubai noticed they were acting weird. He asked tentatively, What creature's shell is this? Do you recognize it? Way more than just recognizing it. Back when we were at Pingshan, we almost died at the hands of this very thing. Blind Chen's expression showed he was reliving old memories, with a faint tinge of fear mixed in. Fatty noticed the atmosphere was really tense. He curled the corner of his mouth a little, trying to crack a joke to lighten the mood. It's not that bad, is it? It's just a bug no matter how you look at it. We've got super advanced gear now anyway. No, back then the two major clans, Zealing and Banshan, went to Pingshan on a joint mission. We still almost lost our lives to this exact creature. If it weren't for that new King Rooster, Blind Chen has worked as a fortune teller for decades. Telling stories is basically one of his best skills. He summed up what happened back then in just a few words. Hubai and the others listened nearby, mouths slightly agape. They'd only heard rumors about that incident before. now hearing it straight from someone who lived through it. It was pretty mind-blowing. Fatty Wang swallowed hard. So this six-winged centipede is that tough. If it actually shows up, do we even have a shot at surviving? Maybe we should just dip, yeah. No, I'm not leaving. I have to get the Mooch and Pearl. Shirley Yang suddenly stepped forward at this moment and scolded loudly. I've already been cursed anyway. If I can't find the Mooch and Pearl, I'll die of blood clotting when the curse acts up anyway. I'd rather fight to the death with the monsters inside the tomb right now.